Hey everybody, today we're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Michael is not with me. He is back, injured his knee last night, so I get to go out and kind of see what some things are with our friends Mel and Nettie from Mel Nettie Living Free Zip Codeless and Jerry Holly. So we are out and we have come to this right here, which is a really cool place. It is a tavern from the 1827. It is a tavern from 1827, built in 1827. And it also was a stagecoach stop and inn. So we're gonna go inside and see what we can see. I know that there are some things about Tuscaloosa, Alabama in there, and I'm really kind of excited to see it. All right, come on in.
27 for William Dutton. He was an early Tuscaloosa innkeeper. This was originally located at 2512 Broad Street, which is now University Boulevard. It was about 2 blocks that way on like the other side of the bridge going to Northport. So this is the main home. It is set up the way that you would have seen it back when it was running as a business. You would pay one flat fee, and it would cover your meal for the night and as many drinks as you wanted, and your room and board upstairs. Right here we have the coolest wardrobe I've ever seen. It is triangle shaped, so it still has plenty of room on the inside, but it fits perfectly in the corner and takes up less space in your rooms. So right here on the right side of the mantle is something pretty interesting. If you see the sticker, don't guess, but if you haven't seen the sticker, try to guess what that thing is.
Which one?
This little guy right here. What do you think he is?
Remove your dry skin off your feet.
That sounds dangerous. Get us straight right.
A strainer?
A strainer. A lot of people say strainer. A lot of people say nightlight. That is a cabbage shredder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So as we head up the stairs, be very careful. You will notice that all of these stairs are built to be a different height and a different grade, and that is on purpose. And they did that so that when it's the middle of the night, sometimes people would try to sneak out on their tab. So in order to prevent that, they would make the stairs like this, and you'd be drunk, it would be dark, stairs are different heights, you're going to fall down and wake everybody up.
Cool.
Go ahead, Jerry.
You see the doorbell? 2 rings of tea time.
All right, we finished with our tour there. It was pretty interesting to find out a little bit about it. One thing that I found particularly interesting was that when you traveled back then, you rented half of a bed. So you didn't know who your bed partner would be on the other side. So women and children did not travel alone generally for that very reason. They don't know who would be on the other side. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of the courtyard outside, and they have a community garden here, and they told us to take as much basil and cilantro and oregano, no, not oregano, arugula, arugula, it's a vegetable, to take with us because it's overgrown right now. So I'll show you a little bit about the outside, and then we're going to go to our next museum. There's 2 more on this tour. So I picked my basil and my arugula, and then we stepped just a couple steps out the back, and we found this. Ruins. Yep, they're looking at it right now. I'll tell you just a little bit about it. It's really cool because it was the seat of government here. It even shows you like where everybody sat, what the building was, and like the layout, the floor plan, and it's really neat. And then in 1920s it burned, and then in 1930s it became a park. And so you can see behind me there's a picnic table and some different things, but I mean there's no playground or anything here. It's just open green space, really nice. They do have like a little stage here, so pretty awesome place. here at the Battle-Friedman house. And we just learned about this sofa over here, and I have got to show you. It's a 3-person sofa. No, it's a courting sofa. So Mel and Nettie are courting, and their chaperone is supposed to be paying attention so that they can't hold hands.
Nope.
And he can't put his arm around her, so.
No.
I don't know. What a great piece of history.
This is the Battle-Friedman house. This was built in 1835 by Alfred Battle and his wife Millicent Beale Battle. Alfred was from North Carolina and Millicent was from Maryland, but they met in Georgia. So they built this townhouse in 1835. Now originally it did have this cross hall and everything back here, and it did have a much smaller staircase. The staircase was opened up a little bit more, so just imagine how like thin the staircase was as we go up. The monumental porch was not originally out here. This area down here was originally an English basement or a daylight basement, and that kind of basement is where the ground will actually come up to the bottom of the windowsill, so you get all that natural light, but since it's partially underground, you still get that like 10 degrees cooler than the rest of the house. Very important because they didn't have AC. Rather cheapy, especially for a Puritan. And when the stars fell in Alabama in 1833, which was a meteor shower, people didn't understand meteor showers, so they called it the stars falling on Alabama, people thought that the world was going to end. So there's a story told that since Millicent thought the world was going to end like everybody else, she decided she had nothing to lose. So she just got out, she walked down the street, she called out, she told everybody what she really thought of them. The world didn't end, but like all of her friendships did that day.
Okay, I don't know what it is about us, but we like bathrooms. So I'm gonna show you a 1920s bathroom. I guess they had paper towels. There's a sink.
Great.
Hey, look. Plungers and everything, 1920s. There we go. I kind of like this door though. You could see in.
Yeah.
You can actually, I mean, if you close it, you could see in, right? Even though it's frosted.
Yeah, you could.
You could kind of maybe see.
No, see. Close it.
All right. Hi,
Only if you
Nettie.
get really close.
That looks like a ghost.
You know, watch them.
Did it?
That would make a good spooky
Yeah.
video.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, you can turn the lights on.
No, that's all right.
He wants to be creepy, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we made it to our second house. It is the Battle-Friedman house here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And let me tell you, this place is amazing. It was built in 1835 by Alfred Battle. And he was a plantation owner and railroad financier. And he constructed this weekend townhouse. A weekend townhouse. Y'all, I don't have a weekend townhouse like that. Whoa, look at that place. He later sold it to the Friedman family, and we got to learn a little bit about them too. Some kind of fun, notable facts that she shared with us is that this back here, fake marble. Yep, fake. The porch wasn't even there. It came to the bottom of the windows because that kept it cooler in the summertime. And in fact, in the upstairs bedroom, they would take apart the bed so that they could move it to the middle of the room in the summer. So it would stay cooler. They could open up all the windows. And another little tidbit that's kind of gross. They didn't clean their cupboards. No. Actually, a couple years ago when the supervisor came in, she told us that. He said, "Ooh, what are these purple spots?" And he started cleaning it to see if he could get the purple spots out. No, the purple spots belong there. Kind of gross, but history. So we got the dirt on this place, and you should come check it out too. Now we're saving the best for last. We're going to the Jemison House. So now we're on the tour at the Jemison House, and let me just tell you, she just told us about this gentleman up here. Yeah, he's the only one who didn't die of old age here. He committed suicide.
Right there.
Right here. Yeah, right there.
There was a man named Jack Warner. There is a big family, the Warner Westervelts. Now, in February of 2018, Jack Warner died. I worked at his museum before it closed. And if you look in there, you will see that someone has written the name Jack. Now, that is his handwriting. And that cabinet is the only one in this wardrobe that does not stay shut. Now, we have this little paper that I'm holding. And it's supposed to help keep it closed, but most of the time when I walk past this room, it's open again. This doesn't help. I'm pretty sure Jack's haunting the wardrobe.
All right, we're getting to go in the secret passage. Come with us.
Come. This is gonna be your favorite room, guys. Oh my goodness! It's a bathtub!
Okay, Jerry.
This is servants' quarters?
Yes.
Holy cow!
We're gonna film you.
Brass bath.
So as we enter the bathroom, you will notice that this room is cut in half from top to bottom. You can see that the window extends through the ceiling. This is to keep the outside scale of the building uniform. Now this right here is the first built-in bathtub in the entire state. It is copper. We haven't cleaned it in a few years, as you can see. I mean, nobody bathes in it, so can you blame us?
Look up, Jerry.
Now, older houses do have bathrooms that were added later, but the Jemison Mansion is the first house where the bathtub was originally installed. Now, it also originally had a toilet. I have no idea where that is. I know it's broken somewhere, but we don't have it.
That looks like your wallpaper in your rig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should what?
So that also with the bathtub, as you can see, it has option for hot and cold water. There is behind this wall a copper boiler. By today's standards, it's more lukewarm than anything, but revolutionary for the 1860s. Okay, so now that we've seen most of the house, let me put some numbers in your head. This house, Jemison's weekend house, mind you, cost him $89,000 to build in 1862.
Oh, wow.
The state capitol cost $50,000 to build, and that included the land, labor, materials, etc. Now, Jemison didn't pay for the materials. He used the stuff from companies he already owned. He didn't pay for the labor. He had his slaves build the whole house. So he spent almost twice the amount that the Capitol building cost on the frills, on the gasoliers, on the golden sprig, on the curly pine. Just so much money that he didn't need to spend, but he did because he wanted everyone to know how extravagant he was.
He had to bling it out. That's Jemison for ya.
Was it him or was it his wife requesting?
I feel like it was a good 50-50.
Yeah, might be.
Let's see. He originally became rich by inheriting his dad's plantations. He expanded those properties and bought more slaves, and he grew in agriculture, but his true wealth came through the steamboat lines and owning shares in railroad and owning contract toll roads and bridges. Then, however, in the Panic of 1857 and the Civil War ended, Jemison's endless stream of resources ended. After the Civil War, he gave a speech to his plantation telling his slaves that they were free. They could leave and never return, or they could stay and work for a very small percentage of what they made. He started sharecropping in this area. He was one of the first people to do sharecropping, which is not much better than slavery. That worked for a while in the main plantation, and then the Luxapilla mill burned down in a riot. Surprise, not surprise. And then toward the end of his life, he was really getting into some hard times, and as a token to his service as Alabama State Senator, the Alabama-Ohio Railroad appointed him to the board and gave him a salary which eased him for the rest of his days.
All right, we are done touring the, well, we started at the Old Tavern Museum, and then we went to the Battle-Friedman house, and then we went to the Jemison house. But I would say, all in all, this is a great tour, and it cost us $0. Yep, it was free.
About me as I was taking it, he popped his head up. I was trying to, and then he popped his head over. Oh. And talking at the same time. Okay. What?
So that was the aftermath.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it at all.
They have many locations. We're going to Biloxi. There's one an hour away. But there's also at Lambert's in Mobile. We just found that out too. So we're very excited about that. If you don't know what Lambert's is, well, you need to Google it because they're good.
It's awesome on my face.
Probably. Probably.
I feel like I've wiped off all my makeup and everything. I'm like, wiping. Okay, sorry.
That is not being cut out of the video. Guaranteed. We are at the site of a supposed haunted house, the Dursh House in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm just going to roll out here real quick so you can see this house. Now, I have no idea why this house is haunted or the history of it, but I'm actually in the car with a leading expert of the haunting of this home. So, leading expert, would you like to fill us in with some details?
Yeah. Well, we know, okay, Sarah, when her husband died, she wanted candles at his funeral, and she wanted the same candles for her funeral. But when she hid them in the house, and then the problem was that when she died, nobody could find them. So they believe that her spirit has come back to haunt her family because they didn't have the candles.
They didn't have the candles.
That's a great reason to haunt a house, because
You wanted candles.
you wanted candles.
So apparently in that third story, they've seen light, like fire, like a candle.
They saw the light. Different light.
Different light.
Yeah. And
But
so
there were
when
the
we were on a tour the
candles.
other day, the tour guide said she came out here as a teenager and sat out here, and they saw light up there in the third story window. She said, I will swear on my grave that's what was up there.
And the candles were used at her husband's services.
Yeah.
And she wanted.
Oh, and quick editorial note: this is Halloween night.
Do you see any lights up there?
I do not see light.
Yeah, the third floor lights. They've actually shuttered all the windows up there, so even if there were lights, you wouldn't be able to see them.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it would come through.
Maybe. And this house is actually in the center of a massive couple 100-acre plantation, and now it's a traffic circle in Tuscaloosa.
1835 is when they started construction on building this house.
My eyes are peeled. I'm waiting for something. Is it me? But is that flickering in the doorway?
No. Okay, folks, watch this. What was that?
He got you good.
Woo! Okay, folks, I know it's dark, but this may be our last transmission. We are heading towards the abandoned old Bryce Hospital Insane Asylum. Yes, it's Halloween night. It's dark. And this was Alabama's oldest and largest insane asylum, built in the 1800s. and in use until the 2000s. Many people hear screams, shadows, people tapping them on the shoulder.
Turn left, then turn right.
Stop. That's the entrance. Lick it.
And here it is, folks.
There's a car down there.
It's police.
It's police.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Turn
I'm
right.
busted.
No, you're not. We're just turning
Head
around.
west.
Okay.
Is it for us?
Apparently.
Hey, run on this back window.
Oh, sure. How you doing?
Hi. Good. How y'all doing? Good. What y'all out here doing today?
Just riding around. We're tourists in the town. Yeah. And this is probably one of our last stops. And it was also one of our first stops. But we want to come back in the daylight just so you guys can see this place. Welcome to the old Bryce Insane Asylum.
It is very creepy. It is like, if you can think of Gone with the Wind, where it had like the big long driveway up to it, that's exactly how it was coming into this place, and you could see it at the end just getting closer and closer and closer. It was pretty creepy.
Yeah, we'll show the dash cam footage of the drive-in. You want to take a peek? Let's take a quick peek. A little closer. Many beers have met their demise right here. Lots of broken glass. We are not walking inside.
No.
And like 10 years ago, this looked like it was still a decent building in some of those YouTube videos we've seen. So this has all happened in like the last 10 or so years. It has become this dilapidated. So, anybody see any ghosts? I ain't afraid of no ghost. Well, that was creepy.
It's very creepy.
Let's get out of here.
Yep.
So this is how we get pictures in the rain.
Yes.
Are you gonna take the picture?
Cheese. That's a good picture.
So we've had a great time for 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3
Wow.
weeks of 2 different parks, 1 Harvest Host, 1 Insane Asylum,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
and a bunch of other stuff. And
2 holidays.
that's true.
And a
Halloween
hurricane.
and Veterans Day.
Right. So
And a hurricane.
and a hurricane.
We've had a wild
We packed
time.
it in, folks. We have packed it in. So we're gonna miss you guys
I'm gonna miss you all.
because it's gonna be 8 months. 8 months at the most.
Yeah.
At the
8 months at the
most.
most.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 months at the most. Hopefully less.
And it's not goodbye.
It's see you later.
It's see ya. It's see ya.
soon.
See you soon. Hopefully
See you
sooner than
soon.
8 months.
Yes.
So we're gonna end this video now. We're gonna say goodbye, and then we're all gonna hit the road and go, unfortunately, our separate ways.
They're going
So,
north. We're going south.
Yep. But
Yeah.
we're heading toward the beach.
We're heading towards a code.
Yeah.
Something wrong with them.
Cold beach. You
wanna go
decide.
with?
You decide. All right. Thanks.